Wait, hold up now. She
shit.
brought my name up.
Oh,
if you'd
shit.
used me, Q, I would have put it on your leg. And
What
then
the what?
it would have been
Hold
game.
on, hold on.
What's up, family? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Thatbaldbrutha, and today we're going to be sliding over to the Lapeef Network to discuss whether or not a woman should have expectations of sex if she's invited to a man's room. Let's get into it.
Should sex be expected if you accept the invitation to their home?
Nope.
No.
Cue the
Go ahead, Q.
soundboard. No,
Yeah.
cue the soundboard for me. Nope.
Nope.
Oh, yeah, nope.
There you go.
No.
Tell me why. Tell me
That's
why.
my final answer.
All right, tell me why. Talk about it.
Just because you invite me to your house, you can get your panties? Where do they do that?
No. It's not the invitation because it may not start off there, but once you cross that threshold and the door closed,
I'm sorry, there's an echo.
everybody read in
Expect it for
between.
me to have sex.
I think
with
that's
you
only for
because
you, Q.
I
That's the-
came
that's the echo.
over. The question says if you accept the invitation to their house. So like what Q was saying was right.
Oh, okay.
Like
Nope.
But I feel like we don't have enough details. Are we going back to their house? What time of day is this? Is this night
It don't matter.
versus
no, it doesn't matter
breakfast
what
was
time.
It doesn't
whatever.
matter. It
But-
doesn't matter. Like once
but
you went to
then-
the home,
Nope.
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Melanie.
But I'm just thinking, like, if I just say, if we like, I go out on or plan a date with a guy, and I say, you know what, I'll cook and we can watch a movie. Is it implied because of like kind of hookup culture and Netflix and chill that if somebody invites you to their house, that's an automatic we doing something? Because I mean I would think like you know what, let's have a game night or something like that. Like you come over, we could play cards, we could eat, have a good time. Like I don't know, I think that's kind of weird to expect that somebody's going to sleep with you just because they come over for a date. Especially
you shouldn't expect.
Especially if y'all haven't slept together before. It's almost like, like even during the pandemic, you couldn't really go anywhere. But if you wanted to date, someone had to come over your place. So then was it expected because of that? So that's kind of where I go with that.
If you're inviting someone over and you're saying, like Melanie said, having game night or whatever, all right, that's fine. But I can tell you right now, any man going over a woman's house, even for game night, is going to come prepared mentally in case that does go down. I mean, let's be honest, ladies. You guys you guys already know before the invitation goes out whether or not you have intention of being with this person physically. So that's also a hidden secret that people don't talk about. Women know before they leave the house whether or not that dude even has a chance of getting anything.
No, I agree. You shouldn't expect sex from nobody. Like you shouldn't, especially men. You definitely shouldn't go over there thinking you're gonna get the draws, and you try to make a move, and she's like, "No, get out." So definitely wouldn't take that route, fellas.
Okay, so let me ask the question.
That just made me
Let-
laugh.
Can I ask a
I
question?
wouldn't put you out if you
Why
did.
you gotta do all that?
Wait. Let me ask a
Why
question.
you doing like that?
So, at any point, do y'all ever expect sex from a guy?
A guy that I've had
That's a
sex
good
with
question.
before.
No. Not a guy that you had sex with before. Is that at any point do you guys expect to have sex with a guy in a general sense?
No,
I think for
we'll
most
have a sex
women-
conversation.
Yeah, women don't have to plan like that. It's like if they felt like it, it's just
Yeah,
it's
just-
whenever
it's-
that moment
Yeah.
come. It can be the first date. It can be, it depends on the woman. It could be the first date. It could be whatever date. But like most dudes would be like, you know what I'm saying? So we don't have that kind of apprehension. At
talking
least
about
I don't know.
dudes,
Maybe
I don't
we're
think I've
talking
ever
about
thought
women.
about that either.
At
me
any
neither.
point,
I've never articulated that.
let me say the question again. At any point, do you guys expect to have sex with a guy?
You mean his expectations?
No,
No,
I mean
do
your
I expect?
expectations.
Or no. What I'm
your
saying is,
expectations.
Do I
not
expect
his,
to have sex with him?
yours.
no. That's what
Do
we answer.
you
We're saying
guys
we
ever
don't
expect to
know.
have sex with a guy?
No, that's what we said. We don't even think like that. Like we don't have, oh, he better have, sex with me by the third date or I'm out. Like we don't, because we know
No,
it can be
well,
whenever.
Well,
Like we
so
don't
what you're
even,
saying-
it doesn't even go in our brains. It's usually if we have expectations is because we want to withhold ourselves from being intimate with a man until we know where this is going. So there's an expectation that, you know what, I'm going to wait, whatever. I'm going to wait until this blah, blah, blah date or week or however many dates. So if you mean by expectations that we will allow him to do something with us, because we know in general, most men,
even in your
I
answer,
think he's talking about our expectations.
I'm just trying to quantify. That's what I'm saying. Isn't that an expectation?
So I think
That I don't expect to have sex for 8 weeks. In the first 8 weeks I date this man, that's my expectation. So then I am going to act
after
accordingly.
that 8 weeks is up, and y'all still spending time with each other, and do at any point after that, do you then start to have expectations that you're gonna have sex with this man?
Yes, I expect as soon as I make a move, as soon as I say anything, as soon as I give a look, he's ready.
Okay, cool. So with that being said, why is it so weird?
Most women would say that.
I didn't criticize you.
Like
Why you getting extra about it? And I'm just asking a question.
Relax.
Now let me ask a
Relax.
follow-up
Calm
question.
down.
Now that you have an expectation and that you admitted that you have an expectation, right? Why is it so weird for a guy to have an expectation for sex if he puts himself in a certain position?
Because we already
I feel
know
like-
men have more testosterone. They have a higher
saw your
sex
face
drive,
last night.
at least, you know. So I think it's, I'm not saying it's all, because I'm never going to be universal in a statement. There are anomalies, but for the most part, even though I know there's a higher percentage of men 18 to 30 are virgins than women are right now. So we're not going on that, but the idea is that most men, if a woman if she's above his whatever number on his scale that he would go with, some guys won't go below a 6, some guys will go down to a 1. And so it just depends. And if she walks up, hey, I want to give you that, and I think that's what we all kind of know, that men have this higher sex drive and are much less picky than women when it comes to that. So we are more picky, and so.
Well, you speaking in a general sense, and I'm speaking as it relates to you, right?
Yeah, I'm
what are
speaking for
your
myself
personal
too.
expectations?
I'm not an anomaly. That I feel as though if I withhold for however long I want to, that's my expectation. That's how I'm going to do things, and then I'm gonna say, if he does this or whatever my expectation that needs to be fulfilled, and then I would just start my flirting or whatever I felt was appropriate, and that's what it would be.
Do you communicate?
My expectation is that he would immediately be like, yes. And I'm not saying that as a point of pride. I think any woman or most women, and I think we all kind of think about, relationships and sex. It's, women are in charge of sex, men are in charge of relationships. So this is biological. This is what is in, but I'm just saying, if we're just going to be real and call a spade, that men dominate the consumption of these things, and so men have a higher sex drive. It's biological. It's not good.
Hold on, Mr. Logic.
But that doesn't mean that women don't think about sex and don't have desires for sex either. I think you guys are downplaying that factor. I get that men dominate the consumption, but we're not going to paint the picture that women don't think about sex.
It's not good or bad.
Hold on, Logic. Let me pick this up.
Go ahead.
If a man invites you up to his hotel room, do you expect to have sex?
And he's visiting from out of town, what's the context?
Come on. We going
I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Are we
Can I
gonna
be honest with you?
semantic this
Can I
up?
tell you? Can I tell you something?
If you go out
Can
and
I give
hang
you
out
a
with
scenario so that I can further expand upon what I'm saying? I don't mean it I'm not trying to say it in a.
Yeah, context matters. We understand that, but on the surface, the question is on the surface. It's a yes or no question. If a guy invites you to his hotel room, would you go up?
Dismissive way, but let's just take, for instance, say there's a guy I went to high school with, and we both are in medical sales now, and we were friends back then. Hey, I'm here for the same convention or whatever you want to, and we're old friends, and you want to come up to my room, and it's really not a thing, and they truly are friends, then you know, or maybe not. Maybe it's all in my intentions, or the intentions that I have, and feeling and reading what his intentions are. I mean, sometimes people are overt with their intentions, just tell you, hey, I'm trying to knock it down. But for the most part, people are a little bit more coy with it. And
I don't believe it that you this naive and that you really fumbling through life like this.
Well, you have to understand. You have to understand. I haven't dated a ton as an adult.
It doesn't matter.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I don't care I don't care if you've never.
So what you're saying, I'm naive. I agree with you in some aspects. I am.
If you are over,
I don't have the life experience.
If you are over the age of 21, I'd have to believe. Please, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm open to being wrong. Are you telling me? And I don't care what the context is, unless they are related to you. You telling me? I don't care if it's a friend from out of town, an old buddy. I don't care if y'all go on to the conference together. You telling me that if a man invites you up to his hotel room, you have no expectations, you in no way, shape, or form or are having him or believe that he in any way think that he want to have some kind of sexual situation with you? Is that what you're telling me?
So let me just say,
make sure I get it all out.
If I'm being honest, it would pop into my mind.
Okay.
Especially, I would pop.
Happening?
Can I clarify what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
So, what I'm saying is, it would pop into my mind because, especially, it would depend on how we communicated before, what our history was, or, you know, did I meet him on Tinder? You know, or is this an old friend, like I said, or a family friend, or whatever. Depending on what the text is, or whatever, you know, how we've communicated. That will lead to context where I would say, yeah, easy. I don't know.
But again, we agree that context matters. But the question is a surface level question. You keep going into the context part of it. You answered it. It pops into your mind. That's it. It pops into your mind because you think there's a possibility this man may be wanting something more from you. You will go through the steps to find out if that's the case, but your initial knee-jerk reaction is yes. You've answered the question, you move on to the next person.
No, girl. You know, every woman does. I think that's your natural instinct. It's how women don't walk down dark alleys in the middle of the night because we've been trained. You watch Law and Order SVU. I grew up watching that. You know what can happen. So we are cautious and we think about it, not about something bad happening, but we've seen romantic movies and, you know, go to the hotel room and Sex in the City style. And it's all, you know, so it does. A woman will question those things, but to the degree will she have those expectations or really think about it will depend on all of that. But I do think it's natural, unless it's like, your great grandfather and, you know, Pawpaw is 99 and, you know, I mean, so unless you know it's an absolute zero sum that this is the type of thing, I think every woman would pop into her mind or she would think about it.
Okay, there you go.
You my home girl.
Yes.
We linked up in person. You know you my dog. You know I've been married for 17 years. I pop into Houston tomorrow. Hey Q, why don't you come up to my hotel room? What's going through your mind?
I'm about to say hi to you, which I've done with friends before.
No.
I'm not expecting
what
sex.
What do you think my intentions are? If I show up in Houston tomorrow and I say, yo, Q, why don't you come up to my hotel room? It's just me. But I mean, you know, come and kick it with your boy in my hotel room. What's your intention?
I'm not. For you, I'm gonna say, oh, you here in town? I'm gonna come link with you. You can go grab some food.
No, come to my hotel room. That's the question.
She
answered. No, that's what I'm saying. I answered. I said, okay, yeah, I'm coming in the room because why would I expect that you want sex?
Now I see the
married,
disconnect. I see the disconnect, yo.
But you're not that.
That's not a fair question to ask Q because she knows you. You set the stage in the beginning. You know her. She's your home girl. Y'all hung out before. So the question, if you ask her if Logic came to town or JR or somebody that she doesn't know comes to town like that and they ask the same question, then you would get a true answer. But for you, she knows you. She's done it before. She's comfortable with you, so she's not going to have a problem coming to your room because she has no expectation of you doing anything because you have a history with her. Not saying you can't decide one day to flip the script on her, but I'm just saying That's why she's having a hard time answering the question, because she knows you.
You know why it's a disconnect though? And I'm gonna tell you, Anton, it's because it's how men and women are wired differently. Our brains are wired differently. And the way we no, this is study. This is
y'all
science.
not even using
This is
y'all
not. This is
context
not
clues.
fake news. This
For
is
y'all
science
to
right
be
here.
the most enrolled,
Y'all one at a time. Y'all one at a time. One at a time, y'all. One
for
at a
y'all
time.
to be the
I was
most
trying to
enrolled,
clarify.
for y'all to be the most enrolled and the most educated and the most White House correspondents and all of this other type of stuff that y'all talking about, right? Y'all lack the most basic street common sense that I've ever seen in my entire life. This is
Anton, do you
wait, stop. Because wait,
why do you want Q to think of you that way when she knows?
don't. I'm using it as an
Why
example.
are you not
You're
accepting
missing it,
her
Kay.
answer?
Let me explain
No,
it to
you're
you. For
missing
those
it.
in
You're
the
missing
back
it.
row, let me
You're
explain it
missing
to
it.
y'all.
Because
What I'm
Q knows
emphasizing is that
JR, I mean not JR. Sorry, Anton, you're dismissing science.
no. You're gonna let me
You-
explain
well,
my
but
point
do
really
you
quick.
believe in
Let me
science?
explain my point
Anton,
really
You
quick.
believe in science.
Let me
somebody to-
explain.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold on.
Not
There's a
overtalk me. You
biological
can't explain it for me. I'm gonna
between
explain
men
it
and
for
women
myself.
in our brain matter.
I'm going to explain it
brain
for
matter.
myself.
Like
This is what the context is.
we're agreeing.
As cool as
though.
me and Q is, as much as she know that I'm not in no way, shape, or form interested in busting that down. As much as that's why I emphasize I've been married for this long. Q know me, that's my sister, and all of this other type of stuff. At the end of the day, if I respected her to that extent, I'm not coming into town by myself and inviting her up to my hotel room in the first place.
True.
If I invite you to
But
my
you're
hotel
you're
room,
wanting us to be accountable
You gonna
for
let me
what the
explain what
man
it is, what
should
the
have
logic is,
been
so I can
doing. We're
educate
just
y'all?
answering the question as you
Anton,
gave
you're
it.
way off.
You
I'm gonna
didn't
let
give
y'all.
us
I'm
this
gonna let y'all figure it out
backstory.
since y'all already know.
But listen, you didn't give us a backstory. We're answering the question as you gave it, but I think in your mind you
I didn't
had
ask
an
you the
outcome
question. I
already.
asked you.
Okay,
figure it
so
out. Come on, y'all.
Anton, your backstory, the fact that you know Q, the fact that you've
Right.
met her before,
Right.
the fact that she knows Rita,
Right.
all these things, you gave that backstory. And then you asked her, so what if I invited you up to my room? I would say the same thing she said. Like, oh, okay, so you're trying to order some room services. Rita there, what's going on?
Y'all daddy ain't never told y'all don't ever go to a man hotel room unless
you were trying to be some kind
With
of
a stranger.
Why do you want somebody to think that about you, Anton? We know you're a good guy.
You're not
Hey, that's so, you
Hey,
so disingenuous.
hold on, Kay. Like
You
I didn't
know
get that.
everybody
Like
saying
I didn't get that
want nobody
impression
to
that he
think
was
no
thinking. I
way
just
about me.
got it. He was using that as an
Illustrate a
example.
point.
But he's not accepting Q's answer, and she.
No, I
answered
did
very-
accept
Okay,
it,
then how
and
do
I
you feel
said
about
that
it, Kay?
was-
You know,
that
should
was
sex be
crazy for her
expected,
to
Kay?
answer that way.
Okay, I'm gonna come to you. Okay.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Should sex be expected if you accept the invitation
No.
to the home? Why not?
Because people get to choose what they do, and it doesn't depend on anything else. I mean, that's what consent is all about. It's not just what. Can you imagine going in front of a judge and being like, "Well, she came to my house," so like, no, that's not how anything works. That is not something that people should expect. That's dangerous thinking. You absolutely should not be expecting something like that from just somebody based on them coming to your house. Now, if there's different, like, you know, relationships that people have, maybe somebody, you're married and, you know, or your boyfriend, girlfriend, long term, whatever, maybe y'all have like something else that you could expect. But in general, absolutely not.
Okay, I got another question for you. And again, we're just having a conversation. I'm not saying one way or another, but I just know how things operate. So I know you have that mindset, but do you think that most men expect sex if you go up to their room or go to their house?
I don't know what they think, but
I'm just saying, it don't have to be you personally, but just friends, situations.
You tell me.
No, I'm talking about from a woman's perspective, not from a man's perspective.
From a woman's perspective, what do I think a man thinks?
Yes.
Okay.
I said based off what you've seen.
Okay. I don't think so. I don't think I in my life, you know, before I was, you know, in a relationship and all this, I don't hang around those types of dudes. So I've never felt
all types of dudes are that type of dude. It's just some of us are better at hiding it.
like, oh my goodness, I'm here. This means blah, blah, blah. I don't feel that way. Like, people are way smoother than that. I don't understand this question. Like, JR, do you expect that anytime a woman comes anywhere to your room, your house, anything? Is that what you expect? Yes or no?
Most of the time, I have.
And it's not even whether or not we expect it.
And that's a fair statement, because no man is inviting a woman up to his house or to his apartment just to play Uno. There's a reason. And if a dude is asking you to do that, he is in his mind thinking, okay, if you coming through, we doing something.
It's about whether or not you guys are naive. I'm not
It's
expecting
not about being
to bust
naive.
down Q. That's not the point. The point is that you guys should never go up to a man's hotel room if you're not expecting to do something.
What?
But Anton, can I have a question?
Yeah.
Can I say something first?
That's ridiculous.
I might not do nothing, but that ain't got
That's
nothing to do with
ridiculous,
general.
man.
I got your Q.
And that's dangerous rhetoric to
exactly,
be
but
spreading to
but
people.
Anton-
Jesus Christ.
It is.
This is crazy. Maybe
It's
I'm just
literally
wrong. Maybe I'm
dangerous.
wrong.
Some people look at you as a role model, Anton, and for you to be saying something like that
What
is
do
very
I have to-
irresponsible.
This ain't got nothing to do with me. This got something to do with your inability to not be naive. I
No,
clearly
it's
just said
you
that I
as a
wouldn't do
man.
anything.
It's
No,
you as a man
because you're not gonna
saying-
try to pay me. Listen, I'm willing to be a bad guy in a lot of situations, but not this one. The point that I was using as it was an example. The point that I'm using is that
example
no matter
is
how
terrible.
cool the person is, if they are not related to you and they invite you up to their hotel room, don't go. I don't care how cool it is. Do not go up to a man's hotel room without expectations to do something. Now, that don't mean that I'm gonna do something, because I would never touch Q, because I'm just a certain type of guy. But that don't mean that another person is not as cool with Q as I am, that won't invite her up to the hotel room, and she should not be in any man's hotel room unless she's expecting to do
I
something.
get how you're
Don't
trying
try
to
to
clean
paint
it
it
up.
out like
But-
I'm a bad
but-
guy.
No,
but Anton, can I
Hold on,
reply
we're
to
gonna go to
that?
Q. We're gonna go to Q. We're gonna go to Q,
But-
y'all. Hey, y'all, we're gonna go to Q.
Me answering that question does not mean I'm going to meet Joe, Henry, and Bob in their hotel rooms. I'm going off because I know you. I know what type of man you are. I hung out with you and your wife. So just because I said yes to that because I know you doesn't mean I'm gonna meet up with J Prince or JB and X, Y, and Z. No.
Exactly.
So I think that example that you used was really a bad example. You should have used someone that I've never met.
Correct.
I've never came
Well,
in
I'm using
contact
an
with that
extreme
I know.
example.
I don't know.
I'm using an extreme example to say, I don't care if it's me. If you're not expecting to do something, don't go up to a man's hotel room.
So like during
It's
the
very
tours, if JR, if you want to have a team meeting, y'all better all go back to your room and do it remotely, because you know what that
That's
means.
what they got lobbies for.
Narrative
They
is
got
that
conference rooms, they got lobbies, they got a lot of different things in a hotel that you can tap into in order to be able to have a conversation. Am I crazy?
okay.
Am I the off one here?
I mean, it's
Jesus
because
Christ.
I have homeboys that came into town and we hung out and we haven't done nothing. So I think I'm a
Well,
good
you got
judge of
lucky.
character. And
Don't keep pushing the narrative.
because no, I'm not pushing the narrative. It's because I'm not doing that with people I would not know like that, or I know would take advantage or use that to their benefit. That's the thing. Like if I met people in this chat, hey, I'm in Houston, you want to link up? I don't even link up with them outside. You think I'm gonna link up with them? They come to Houston, hey, I'm in town. I'm at this is bar. I don't even go outside.
Q.
So you think
I
I'm
think
meeting up with a stranger?
I think what's the point that's getting, like, we go out to the club. I meet Melanie. We go do a show or whatever, right? We go out, we have fun, we drink, right? I call Melanie and say, hey, Melanie, can you come up to my room? Now, I will have an understanding in my mind as a man of why would I want Melanie to come to my room at 12 o'clock at night, right? So now let's get that understanding. I'm telling you, men have an understanding. So now, if Melanie come to my room at 12 o'clock at night, what is she really expecting?
Your question has context, and the original question does not. You give it scenarios about after midnight, after bar and the drinks. Okay, the implication is that sex is somewhere on the agenda because of the time of day and the circumstances surrounding the question or the request. So yeah, that's different. I think the point that JR is trying to make is that if a man invites you to his house or to his room, it's not about you having the expectation that you're going to do anything. Like you should be prepared to have sex. I think what he's trying to convey is that you should have it in your mind that this man may be looking for that. You should have an expectation that this man might try to push up on you for sex. Not that you should come prepared for it. Understand that unless you get some clarification from him, he might have the impression that he's inviting you over for sex. It's not an attack on you to say that women should expect to have sex and go into every encounter with that expectation and then go prepared to have sex. It's about going into situations that you don't know a person and understand that if you go into a certain circumstance, a certain environment, there may be an expectation, and it should be in your mind to be on the lookout for any warning signs that things are going that way. Not that you should come with your go bag in your purse ready to do anything if something pops up.
That was an example, sir. Anton said he came into Houston. He didn't say he went to the club. It wasn't no 12 a.m. He came into Houston, a city he's only been one time, right? And as a friend, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna come and show him out, go take him to eat, etc. You doing a different type of example.
Hold on, Elijah, real quick. I think that we really like honing in on this situation. I honestly don't think Anton meant it that way. He was using himself as an example. I think that we just really digging in on it, but I really don't think it's meant that way. I think the overall thing is it some men you can kick it where they won't try nothing? Yeah. I believe it is so. But there are a lot of men that, depending on the situation, if they invite you to their room in their house, that sex is on their mind. They may not try nothing. Correct. But sex is on their mind. Correct. It's not everybody.
But there's some.
But in most cases, in my opinion, I believe that sex is on their mind. And we can just leave it there. Like I don't think that anybody is insinuating anything or trying to push something. We just, for the sake of the conversation, we just using examples.
The point is, I'm more scared the fact that the tripped out thing about it is I'm trying to really give y'all some game.
Why don't you just give it instead of trying to insert yourself?
You keep talking.
Fuck is going on this panel, bro? You don't even know when somebody is trying to protect y'all by giving y'all the game. How are you gonna overtalk somebody that's trying to help you?
Hold on.
How you gonna
talk one at a time,
somebody
y'all. One at a
that's
time.
trying to help you and give you the game on how you need to protect yourself? This is crazy. This is why dudes don't even waste their time, and they just be like, "Yo, okay, go ahead and do whatever it is that you want to do."
And
how you gonna overtalk a dude that's trying to give you the game?
As an example,
I'm trying to protect you,
so that Q could be like, "Oh,
let me suck them titties, babe."
JR, I need a break, bro.
Oh, yeah. Let me suck them titties, babe. Let me suck
so emotional.
Hold on, y'all.
So Anton likes to use himself as an example for some kind of ego stroke. And he wanted Q to be like, I wouldn't go because I don't know what you're going to do. But she knows that he's not that type of guy. So do I. I've met him. We all know he's not.
How are you going to tell me?
Hold on, Anton.
How you going to tell me what my intentions are? I'm telling you what my intentions are. You ain't listening. You ain't listening. You're not paying attention. I'm trying to give you the context and you're not listening because you're so stuck in your own head. And when somebody trying to protect you and trying to give you the game, this ain't even no playing moment to me because I really look at y'all like little sisters.
Will I be able to resume when he's done? Okay. So Anton, wanted Q to be like, I don't know what he would do. But we all know what he would do, which was nothing. He loves his wife. We know his wife. We've met her. We've met him. No one is worried about Anton. So when he uses himself as an example, it throws it completely off. I know he wanted us to think, ooh, we don't know, but we do know. He's not going to be on anything with any of us. And I don't know why he's defensive about that. Why does he want someone to think that he's going to be on some nonsense? Now, I completely get his point about saying don't go up to strange men's hotel rooms or men you hardly know. I completely agree with that. JR, you made a good point. A lot of people do think, other things if you're coming up to their hotel.
I think people who use logic, the answer would definitely been different because I don't know him, right? So I think what threw off everything and people understand where the men are coming from is because he used him. But let's say it was someone else. I fully get that, okay? Because most men, they think with their dicks, not with their brain. So that's fully, we get that. I mean, I get that. I mean, I fully get where y'all men are coming from to protect us But I think that example kind of threw like it went right, left, like all the way
Agreed.
left.
100%.
No, if you would have used
So
me,
what-
wait, hold up now.
Oh,
She brought
shit.
my name up.
Oh,
If you would have
shit.
used me, Q, I would have put it on your leg, and
What
then
the what?
it would have been
Hold
game.
on, hold on, Logic.
I would have never came.
Hold on.
Like, you-
Like,
Hold on.
None of us
What?
Hold on.
that's the inside.
Hold on. Rilla.
Come on, bro.
Rilla. Answer this
God
question, then we can
damn.
move on to the next topic.
God
Should
damn.
sex be
Shout out to Mr. Coleman.
should sex be expected if you accept the invitation to their home? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was listening to y'all on my way to the crib, man. I don't even know what the big debate is about. Like, we already know most men expect sex.
Exactly.
If I invite you up to my room,
Exactly.
they're gonna expect sex. Period. If a man invites you up to his room, outside of obviously if you my home girl or if I look at you like baby sis, that's something completely different. But in the bigger context, like even if you think about the case, I don't know if that was 95 or whatever case that was when Tyson was accused of violating the young lady, and the details came out that, he had invited her up to a room. The first thing everybody, men in particular, was saying was like, well, she went up to his room at that time of night. Like, what
Did she think
was
was
she
laughing?
expecting? That's a reality.
Yeah.
We can debate whether it's right, wrong, and different, because the one thing that women have taught us in this Me Too era and this no means no era is that even in the act of, a man could be 3 strokes away from busting, and if she say no, his obligation is to pull out and fall back like a small back, right? So that's what men have been taught now. Doesn't mean that they still don't have an expectation. Now, I was listening, shout out to you, Miss Melanie, good to meet you. I was listening to you kind of speak on it earlier, and I was glad when you finally got to like, hey, 8 weeks in, yeah, I have an expectation. If I give him the signal, I expect him to be ready to go. Then we ready to go out the gate. So if a woman invites a man up to the room, the man is expecting. Correct. I don't know what the woman is expecting, but the man is expecting that it's going to jump off. And if the man invites the woman to the room, the man is still expecting that it's going to jump off.
Or at least there's a possibility of it.
That's just what it is. I don't even know what the big discussion and all the yelling and the screaming and the fussing is about.
Another spirited conversation from the Lapeef Network. Those guys never fail to disappoint. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you found any value here, please don't forget to like and share, and let me know in the comments your thoughts about whether or not you agree or disagree that women should be concerned about or have an expectation that sex is taking place if invited to a man's room. All right, until next time, take care. God bless. Peace.